Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that has left both collectors and experts amazed. The 1959 D Lincoln Cent. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny that could be worth over $70,000. So, grab your magnifying glasses and stay tuned as we explore the history, design, and potential fortune behind the 1959 D Lincoln penny. Plus, we'll look at the market value today and why some of these coins are fetching record prices. Let's get started. A historical montage of the 1950s showing images of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the U.S. Mint, and other significant moments from 1959. Asterisk: to truly understand the value of the 1959 D Lincoln Cent, we first need to dive into a little bit of history. 1959 was a pivotal year for the U.S. penny. This was the first year the iconic wheat reverse design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, designed by Frank Casparo. The front, or obverse, of the penny still featured the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909, to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. But on the reverse, a change was made. Gone were the wheat stalks that flanked the words, 1 cent. Instead, we got a detailed image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This change marked a new chapter in the life of the Lincoln Cent and was seen as a modern update. The 1959 penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D mint mark we'll be focusing on today signifies that the coin was produced in Denver. Now, let's talk about mint marks. The 1959 Lincoln Cent was minted in 3 different locations. The Denver Mint produced a staggering 1.27 billion 1959 pennies. With such a large number minted, you might be wondering how any of these could be valuable. After all, common cents from this year are usually only worth face value, right? The majority of 1959 D pennies aren't worth more than a cent, but certain factors can elevate the value of a coin exponentially. Let's break down what to look for if you're trying to determine whether your 1959 D penny is one of the rare, high-value ones. A coin's condition is everything. A mint state MS grade indicates that the coin has never been circulated and is essentially in the same condition as the day it left the mint. The grading scale ranges from 1 to 70, with MS 67 or higher being extremely rare for 1959 D pennies. Coins with minting errors can fetch astronomical prices. Some errors include die breaks, double strikes, or repunched mint marks. For instance, coins with a repunched D mint mark or ones where part of the design is doubled can be much more valuable. As mentioned, high-grade 1959 D pennies are hard to come by. A coin graded MS 65 might fetch $5 to $20, while a higher grade, such as MS 67 red, could push the value into the thousands. Pennies that still retain their original red color from the copper alloy are more valuable. Over time, pennies oxidize and turn brown. Coins with a red RD designation can fetch a premium. If you have a 1959 D penny graded MS 67 with the RD designation, you're looking at serious value. Auction house footage showing rare coins being sold, with captions highlighting a $70,100 sale. Asterisk now, onto the headline grabber. In 2021, a 1959 D Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $70,100. So what made this penny so special? This particular coin was graded MS 67 Plus red by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. This means it was in pristine condition with no noticeable wear, almost perfect centering, and a brilliant red color. But what really made it stand out was that it was one of only a few known coins to reach this grade. Rare coins in near-perfect condition are incredibly sought after by collectors, and when competition is high, prices can soar. Add in the fact that this was a first-year Lincoln Memorial penny, and you have the recipe for a record-breaking sale. Charts and graphs showing the rising value of rare coins, with specific attention to the 1959 D penny. Asterisk so, where does that leave us in 2024? The market for high-grade 1959 D Lincoln cents is still hot. But the creme de la creme, MS67 Plus Red, can reach into the thousands. Some coins have sold for over $5,000, and collectors are always on the lookout for another top-rated coin. Footage of someone carefully inspecting a coin with a magnifying glass and a light source. Asterisk now, the big question: how can you tell if you're sitting on a small fortune with your 1959 D penny? Here are some steps. Use a magnifying glass to inspect your coin. Look for scratches, discoloration, or any other signs of wear. Pay close attention to the mint mark. Check for doubling or other minting anomalies that could make your penny unique. If you think your penny might be valuable, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to get an official grade. This will significantly boost the market value if your coin is rare or in mint condition. The penny spins again, this time showing the D mint mark before fading out to the host holding a rare coin in their hand. Asterisk the 1959 D Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a piece of history that could be worth thousands of dollars if you have the right one. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes peeled for those rare, high-grade examples. We're talking about one specific coin that could be hiding in your collection right now: the 1972 Lincoln cent. This isn't just any penny, though. It's a coin that could be worth hundreds or even tens of thousands of dollars. So what makes this penny so valuable? Let's dive in. If you've ever heard stories about a simple penny being worth a fortune, today we're going to break down exactly how that happens. In particular, we're looking at the 1972 Lincoln cent, also known as the mink mark or no mint mark penny. We'll cover its history, what to look for, and how much it's currently worth. Spoiler alert, some of these coins have sold for as much as $80,000. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, featuring Lincoln's profile, was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it has been a staple of American currency for over a century. While pennies are often thought of as being the least valuable form of currency, certain variations can hold incredible worth, and that's exactly the case with the 1972 penny. The 1972 Lincoln cent was struck at multiple mints, but today we're focusing on the ones from the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike the coins from the Denver or San Francisco mints, the Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, which is where the nickname mink mark or no mint mark comes into play. But what really makes the 1972 penny special is a particular error that occurred during production. In 1972, something unique happened. A small batch of pennies was struck with what's known as a double die error. A double die occurs when the coin's design is imprinted twice on the same coin, but slightly off alignment. This creates a doubling effect that is most visible on the date, the words Liberty, and In God We Trust on the obverse of the coin. If you have a 1972 penny, take a close look at these areas under magnification. The doubling can range from being very noticeable to more subtle. The strongest examples are known as Class 1 double dies, and these are the ones that can fetch the highest prices at auctions. Now, let's get into how to actually identify one of these valuable pennies. First, you'll need a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You can also use a digital microscope if you want a clearer view. Start by looking at the date. The doubling should be obvious. Each number in the year 1972 will appear as if it's been stamped twice, slightly offset. You should also check the word Liberty on the left-hand side of Lincoln's bust and In God We Trust above Lincoln's head. If you spot any doubling, congratulations. You might be holding a coin worth far more than 1 cent. Make sure to confirm the doubling isn't just regular wear or damage. If the doubling is crisp and clear, you might have found one of the valuable versions. So how much is this penny really worth? Well, it depends on the condition of the coin. For circulated 1972 double-die pennies, you're looking at prices ranging from $100 to $500. Coins in better condition, with less wear and tear, can be worth even more. Uncirculated examples, especially those that have been graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can sell for several $1,000s. In fact, some of the highest graded examples, such as those graded MS65 or higher, have sold for up to $80,000 at auctions. These top-tier coins are rare, but if you happen to have one, you're sitting on a small fortune. As of right now, the most expensive 1972 double-die penny sold at auction fetched a whopping $80,000. Now, there are other factors that can affect the value of your 1972 penny. First, the overall condition of the coin is crucial. Even small amounts of wear can significantly lower the value. That's why it's always a good idea to handle coins with care, and if you think your penny could be valuable, consider having it professionally graded. Another factor to keep in mind is that not all 1972 pennies with doubling are valuable. There are many minor doubling errors that don't carry the same premium, so it's important to verify your coin through a trusted expert or grading service. So you've identified a 1972 double-die penny, and now you're wondering how to sell it. There are a few routes you can take. You could list it on online marketplaces like eBay, where many coin collectors look for rare finds. However, if you believe your penny is in excellent condition and could fetch a high price, consider selling it at a professional auction. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers specialize in rare coins and can help you get top dollar for your find. They also provide a level of authentication and trust that can attract serious collectors. And there you have it. The 1972 Lincoln cent is more than just pocket change. It's a piece of American history and, for some lucky collectors, a valuable asset. Remember, the key is in the details, so check your pennies carefully. You never know, that old penny you've had lying around could be worth a lot more than you think. We've got something truly exciting to talk about. A tiny piece of copper that's turning heads in the collector community. The 1977 Lincoln penny. You may think it's just a common cent, but some of these little coins are actually worth thousands of dollars, with one particular penny reaching an astounding $65,100 in recent auctions. Want to know how? Stick around as we dive into the history, features, and how you can tell if you have one of these valuable coins sitting in your pocket right now. First things first, let's get into the history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1909, and the 1977 penny was part of that iconic lineage. That year, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies. There were three main mints responsible for striking these coins: Philadelphia, which produced pennies with no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D mint mark, and San Francisco, marked with an S. Each of these mints made slightly different pennies, which can affect their value. Now, while most of these pennies are worth their face value or slightly more, certain rare examples from the 1977 series, specifically coins that have minting errors, rare variations, or are in pristine condition, have been selling for astonishing amounts. So why on earth would a 1977 penny sell for up to $65,100? It all comes down to a few key factors: errors, grade, and rarity. Some of the most valuable coins from any series come with errors. These can include things like off-center strikes, die cracks, double die errors, where the design appears twice due to a misalignment, and more. In the case of the 1977 penny, some have been found with unique errors like doubling on the obverse, front, side of the coin, specifically in areas like Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering. These kinds of errors are rare and highly sought after by collectors. The better the condition of a coin, the higher its grade, and this plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with a 70 representing a perfect coin. If you have a 1977 penny in mint state, that's MS65 or higher, meaning it looks like it just rolled off the press. You're looking at the potential for big money. Recently, a 1977 penny in near-perfect MS67 grade sold for $65,100. While billions of pennies were produced in 1977, finding ones in near-perfect condition or with rare errors is extremely uncommon. As time goes on, many of these coins get worn down or are lost entirely. The rarer a pristine example becomes, the more collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. Okay, so now that we know why they're valuable, let's talk about how you can spot one of these valuable 1977 pennies. Here's a checklist of what you should be looking for. Look for pennies from the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, Denver Mint D, or San Francisco Mint S. While the D pennies are common, any unusual features on these coins could make them rare. Keep an eye out for double die errors on the obverse side, where the lettering and date might appear doubled. Use a magnifying glass and look at the penny's condition. If it has minimal wear and tear and still has a shiny, lustrous finish, you might be in possession of a higher grade coin. Grading services like PCGS and NGC can professionally grade your coin for you if you think it's a good candidate. Common errors like doubling, off-center strikes, or die cracks are what truly send these coins into higher price ranges. Specifically, check Lincoln's face, the date 1977, and the word Liberty for any signs of doubling. Even without errors, coins in mint state or uncirculated condition are worth far more than worn examples. If your 1977 penny looks as though it's never been circulated, it might be worth getting it professionally appraised. Let's talk about real-world numbers now. In recent years, we've seen some jaw-dropping sales when it comes to 1977 Lincoln pennies. A 1977 D penny graded MS67 by PCGS sold for a staggering $65,100 at auction. That's the highest known sale of this particular penny. Other 1977 pennies without errors, but still in high grade, have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. An MS66 penny from 1977 can easily fetch between $200 and $500, while MS67 examples regularly sell for $1,000 to $5,000 for collectors. This means that even if your penny doesn't have an obvious mint error, if it's in top condition, it could still be worth a lot of money. Prices can fluctuate depending on market demand, but as of now, high-grade examples from 1977 continue to be a hot item among collectors. Alright, so you've checked your pennies, found a few that look promising, and now you're wondering how to cash in. Here's what to do next. As I mentioned earlier, grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, are your best bet for an official grade. They will examine your coin and assign it a grade, which will dramatically influence its value. If your coin is graded and you're ready to sell, you have several options. Like eBay or Heritage Auctions are great places to reach a wide audience. Can also provide appraisals and may offer to buy the coin outright. Are a good place to meet collectors and dealers face to face and get a feel for the coin's value. Remember, patience is key when selling rare coins. To get the best price, make sure you do your research and choose the best selling platform for your situation. So there you have it. Who would have thought that a simple 1977 penny could be worth so much? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about that jar of old pennies sitting at home, now you know what to look for. With a little bit of luck and some careful inspection, you might just find a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. We've got an exciting topic for all you coin enthusiasts out there: the 1980 Lincoln penny, specifically the Mark I variety. Stick around as we explore its history, significance, and why it could be worth a whopping $55,100. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our latest content. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1909. But today, we're focusing on a specific variant from 1980, the Mark I Lincoln penny. This coin is not just another penny. It holds a special place in numismatic history due to its rarity and unique characteristics. Before we dive into its value, let's take a closer look at this coin. The 1980 Lincoln penny, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, typically features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, the Mark I penny is distinguished by an important detail that sets it apart from the standard issue. The 1980 Lincoln penny was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new techniques and materials. By the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint was facing challenges with coin production, including issues with coin die wear and design alterations. In 1980, changes to the production process led to the creation of what's now known as the Mark I variety. During this time, the Mint was also exploring ways to combat the rising costs of copper. As a result, there were subtle changes in the coin's composition and design. The Mark I penny is a direct result of these experimental processes. So what makes the Mark I Lincoln penny so special? The most notable feature of this coin is a slight but significant alteration in the Lincoln Memorial's design. If you look closely at the reverse of the Mark I penny, you'll notice differences in the details of the memorial building, such as the spacing of the columns and the overall alignment. Another identifying feature is the subtle doubling on the inscription E pluribus unum on the reverse, which is a result of the die shift during production. This type of error is quite rare and adds to the coin's uniqueness and value. Now, let's talk about the value. The 1980 Mark I Lincoln penny is not just a collector's item, it's a valuable piece of numismatic history. As of now, this coin can fetch an astounding $55,100 on the market. Yes, you heard that right, $55,100. The high value is due to its rarity and the unique characteristics that distinguish it from regular 1980 Lincoln pennies. Collectors are always on the lookout for such rare finds, and the Mark I penny's limited availability makes it highly sought after. So how can you determine if you have a 1980 Mark I Lincoln penny in your collection? Here are a few steps you can follow. Look closely at the Lincoln Memorial for any deviations from the standard design. Examine the inscription E pluribus unum for any signs of doubling. If you're unsure, consider reaching out to a professional coin grader or numismatist for verification. Remember, having a professional evaluation can significantly impact the value of your coin. That wraps up our look at the 1980 Lincoln penny Mark I variety. We hope you found this video informative and exciting. If you have any questions or if you think you might have one of these rare coins, drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to your channel name for more great content about rare coins and collectibles. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. We're diving into the fascinating world of numismatics as we explore the value and history of a specific coin that's been turning heads in the collecting community, the 1981 Lincoln penny. This seemingly ordinary penny is worth a lot more than you might think, with a current market value of around $65,100. So let's get into the details of why this penny is so valuable and what makes it a hot item among collectors. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1981 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia and features the classic design we've come to know and love: the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The coin's composition is primarily copper, with a weight of 2.5 grams and a diameter of 19 millimeters. To understand why this particular penny is so valuable, we need to delve into its cheese story and rarity. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. However, among these, there are a few rare specimens that have caught the attention of collectors and numismatists. Specifically, we're talking about the 1981 Mink Mark 1-cent Lincoln penny. So what makes the 1981 Mink Mark penny so special? The term Mink Mark refers to a unique mint error where a distinct mark, resembling a small mink, appears near the base of Lincoln's neck. This error was the result of a die clash or some other irregularity during the minting process. The mink mark is a rare and sought-after feature among collectors, making these pennies incredibly valuable. Now, let's talk numbers. The value of a 1981 Lincoln penny with the mink mark has skyrocketed over the years. While most 1981 pennies are worth just their face value or a small premium, the rare error coins have fetched astonishing prices. As of today, the market value of a well-preserved mink mark penny can reach up to $65,100. That's a significant increase from its original face value of just 1 cent. The high value of the 1981 Mink Mark penny is due to its rarity and the error's unique nature. Collectors are always on the lookout for such rare finds, and this penny's scarcity has driven up its market value dramatically. It's a prime example of how a small minting error can lead to a coin being worth a fortune. If you think you might have one of these rare pennies in your collection, it's worth getting it evaluated by a professional. Authentication and grading are crucial steps in determining a coin's value, and a certified appraisal can help you get the best price if you decide to sell. For those of you who are just getting started in coin collecting, the 1981 Mink Mark penny is a great example of why it's important to pay attention to details and learn about different types of mint errors. It's not just about collecting coins for their historical value, but also for the thrill of finding rare and valuable pieces. We're diving deep into one of the rarest and most sought-after modern pennies, the 1992 Lincoln cent, specifically the 1992 D-Close AM penny that could be worth up to $50,000. Imagine, a simple penny that you might have in your pocket right now could be worth thousands. So, make sure you stick around because we're breaking down the history, the story behind its rarity, how to spot this penny, and the current market value in 2024. The Lincoln penny has been around for over a century, first minted in 1909. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and features Abraham Lincoln on the front, or the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes the 1992 Lincoln cent so special? Well, in 1992, something went wrong at the mint. That something is what we call the close AM error. When you're looking at a typical Lincoln Memorial cent from 1992, the A and M in America on the reverse side are supposed to be spaced apart. This is known as the wide AM design. But during minting in 1992, a small number of pennies, both from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, were accidentally struck with the 1993 close AM reverse die. In these rare pennies, the A and M in America almost touch, which is why it's called a close AM. This tiny design difference is what makes this penny worth thousands of dollars. So, how did this happen? Well, the U.S. Mint was preparing to transition from the wide AM design used in pennies struck between 1989 and 1992 to a close AM design, which was first intended for circulation in 1993. However, a few 1992 pennies were struck using the 1993 reverse dies, which resulted in a close AM error. These error coins slipped through quality control, and now they're out in the world. Now, how do you know if you have one of these rare pennies in your change jar or collection? Flip the penny over to the back and focus on the word America. Look closely at the letters A and M. If the space between them is very tight, almost touching, that's a sign you may have a close AM penny. The most valuable variety is the 1992D Denver Mint, close AM, but the 1992P Philadelphia Mint, close AM is also rare and valuable. If the penny is in excellent condition, meaning it's uncirculated or close to it, it can significantly increase its value. Let's talk about the big question. How much is this penny worth? The value of a 1992 close AM penny can vary depending on its condition and mint mark. Let's break it down. This is the jackpot coin. If you find one in mint condition, it can sell for between $25,000 and $50,000, depending on its grade. One of these sold for $50,100 at auction in 2012. Even a lower grade 1992D close AM penny can fetch a few $1,000s. While not quite as valuable as the Denver version, this penny is still highly sought after. In mint state, it can sell for anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000, with some higher grades reaching up to $20,000. Recently, the market has remained hot for these coins, with collectors willing to pay top dollar. Even circulated examples are highly collectible, though their value will be much lower. So why is there such a frenzy over these coins? The rarity factor plays a huge role. Only a small number of these rare pennies were ever struck, and even fewer have been found in excellent condition. As more collectors become aware of these coins, their prices have skyrocketed. In addition, rare coins in general have become highly prized by collectors, especially when it comes to modern U.S. coins that are still in circulation. If you think you've found a 1992 close AM penny, what should you do next? First, make sure you get your coin authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. This ensures that buyers know they're getting the real deal. The grading process will also determine your coin's condition, which plays a huge role in its final value. A higher grade means more money. Once your penny is authenticated, you can sell it through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. You could also sell it online on platforms like eBay, but be sure to work with trusted buyers. Now, don't get confused with the 1992 white AM pennies. These are the standard pennies minted that year, and they don't have any special value unless they're in pristine, uncirculated condition. So, always double-check the spacing between the A and M to be sure. While the 1992 close AM is a top-tier rare penny, it's not the only Lincoln set worth big bucks. Other pennies you should keep an eye out for include. Each of these can fetch thousands of dollars in the right condition. So there you have it. The 1992 close AM Lincoln cent is a prime example of why you should always check your pocket change. You never know. You could be holding a coin worth $50,000. We're talking about a coin that you probably have in your pocket or tucked away in a drawer somewhere. It's the 1995 Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny. But this isn't just any penny. This 1-cent coin is known as the mink mark penny, and some of these bad boys are worth a lot of money. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this humble penny can fetch over $40,000 in today's market. Let's get started. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1995 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running series that features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, or obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were minted in the billions, so you might be wondering, what makes a 1995 penny special? What sets some of these pennies apart is a specific detail, and that detail is a mint error, specifically, what's known as the mink mark. Now, we'll explain the history, what this error is, and why it can turn a regular penny into a small fortune. Asterisk, before we jump into the unique features of the 1995 penny, let's take a quick trip through history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was also the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a president. Up until then, Lady Liberty reigned supreme on American currency. Asterisk, over the decades, the design has changed slightly, but since 1959, the reverse has featured the Lincoln Memorial. Fast forward to 1995, and you've got billions of these pennies in circulation. Most of these coins are only worth their face value, but there are a few exceptions, like the one we're talking about today. Asterisk, now, let's talk about the mysterious mink mark. What is it? Well, mink mark is actually a nickname collectors gave to a small, specific minting error that occurred on some of the 1995 Lincoln pennies. Officially, it's known as a mint mark error, but the term mink mark stuck because of how minor and unique the error is. Asterisk, normally, U.S. pennies are minted with a D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco, indicating where they were struck. However, during the minting process of some 1995 pennies, the dies used to stamp the coins had issues, leading to strange, abnormal markings where the mint mark should be. These errors can range from double stamps, missing marks, or unusual misalignments, making them highly sought after by collectors. Asterisk, alright, so why do collectors care so much about this little error? Well, coin collecting is all about rarity, history, and condition. When it comes to the mink mark penny, we're talking about a rare and unintentional error that was never meant to happen. This rarity drives up the value. Asterisk, the fewer the number of these error coins that exist, the higher the demand. Some 1995 Lincoln pennies with the mink mark have sold for thousands, yes, thousands of dollars, because of how scarce they are. But there's more to it than just the error. The coin's condition plays a huge role as well. Asterisk, to understand the true value of a mink mark penny, you have to know about coin grading. This is how collectors determine the condition of a coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, mint condition coin. Asterisk, even a minor difference in grade can dramatically impact the value. For example, a well-circulated mink mark penny might only be worth a few $100s, while a pristine, uncirculated one with nowhere could be valued in the tens of thousands. Asterisk, if you're lucky enough to have a mink mark penny graded at mint state 68 or higher, you could be sitting on a potential gold mine. Asterisk, so, what kind of money are we talking about here? Some of these 1995 mink mark pennies have sold at auction for as much as $40,000 or more. In fact, the current market value in 2024 for a high-grade mint state example can easily reach up to $40,100. Asterisk, the exact value will depend on the demand at the time, the specific error, and of course, the coin's grade. But with prices reaching over $40,000, it's no wonder collectors are on the hunt for these rare gems. Asterisk, now, I'm sure you're wondering, do I have one of these valuable mink mark pennies in my collection? Well, here's how you can check. Asterisk, first, grab any 1995 pennies you have. Check the mint mark area closely and see if there's anything unusual, maybe a doubling of the mark, a missing mark, or a strange smudge where the mark should be. If you find something, you might be in luck. Asterisk, if you think you've found one of these rare pennies, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official certification. This will not only authenticate your coin, but also give you an exact grade, which is critical for determining its value. Asterisk, once graded, you can either hold onto it as a valuable part of your collection or sell it through an auction house, where collectors will be eager to bid for a piece of minting history. Asterisk, so, there you have it. What you thought was just a regular penny could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The 1995 Lincoln penny, especially with the rare mink mark error, is a perfect example of why it pays to pay attention to the small details in coin collecting. Who knows, your next big payday could be hiding in your pocket change. Asterisk, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos about valuable coins and collectibles. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Asterisk. Video, we're going to talk about a 2020 Mark 1 cent Lincoln penny, its fascinating history, why it's become such a sensation, and why collectors are willing to pay over $30,000 for this tiny piece of metal. Let's get into it. To understand the significance of the 2020 penny, let's first talk a little about the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For over a century, this penny has undergone several design changes, but the overall motif has remained consistent, honoring the 16th President of the United States. What's really interesting about the Lincoln penny is that it's one of the most collected coins in the world. The penny's enduring appeal comes from its accessibility and historical value. But how did the 2020 Lincoln penny end up being so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity, errors, and demand. The 2020 Lincoln penny marks one of the more recent releases of this iconic coin. On the surface, it may appear like any other penny you'd find in your pocket, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, which was introduced back in 2010. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these 2020 pennies have gained significant value due to their rare minting errors. You might be wondering, what kind of error could make this penny so valuable? Well, it's all about those tiny, hard-to-spot flaws. Some 2020 Lincoln pennies came out with minting errors that make them incredibly rare. For instance, a common error on the 2020 penny includes die cracks, misaligned dies, double dies, or off-center strikes. These errors occur when the coin is improperly struck at the U.S. Mint, and that's what makes these pennies so special. These rare mistakes mean that there are very few of these error coins in circulation. And in the world of coin collecting, scarcity equals value. So, how did the 2020 Lincoln penny become worth $30,100? Well, the key to understanding this is condition and grading. Coins are rated on a scale called the Sheldon Grading Scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS68+, for example, is considered to be in nearly perfect condition. In 2020, a Mark 1 cent penny in an MS68+ condition with a major error sold for a staggering $30,100. Coins graded this high are incredibly rare, and when paired with a minting error, it becomes a collector's dream. Even the smallest difference in grade can affect the price of a coin. For instance, a 2020 penny in MS67 could be worth around $500 to $1,000, but when you get to MS68+, especially with an error, you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars. If you want to find out whether you've struck gold, or rather, copper-plated zinc, with your 2020 Lincoln penny, you'll need to check for a few things. First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and carefully examine your penny for any signs of an error. Look for unusual features, such as doubling on the date, a distorted image of Lincoln, or even a misalignment in the lettering. It's also a good idea to get your coin professionally graded by services, like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC). They'll be able to tell you exactly what condition your penny is in, and whether you've got a rare treasure on your hands. So, what's the current market value of the 2020 Lincoln penny? Well, it varies. As of today, standard 2020 pennies in circulated condition are only worth face value, 1 cent. However, uncirculated coins or those with errors are where the real value lies. Pennies graded MS-67 or higher are fetching anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the buyer and the specific error. One thing's for sure, if you have a 2020 Lincoln penny with a mint error, especially in top condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. As of now, high-grade, error pennies from 2020 have sold for anywhere between $5,000 and $30,100. Now, let's talk about how you can maximize the value of your coins. First, always handle your coins with care, preferably by the edges and while wearing gloves. You don't want to accidentally lower the grade of your coin by scratching it or leaving fingerprints. Second, store your coins properly in a cool, dry place using protective coin holders. Keeping them safe from environmental damage can preserve their value over time. And last but not least, always do your research. The world of coin collecting is vast, and prices can fluctuate based on market trends. Keeping yourself informed will help you get the best price when it's time to sell. So, do you have a 2020 Lincoln penny tucked away in a jar or drawer? It might be worth more than just a single cent. Whether you're an avid collector or just getting started, keep your eyes peeled for rare pennies like this. You never know, your next coin could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on rare and valuable coins. Until next time, happy hunting, and good luck with your coin collection.